Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to go through the board games in the Humble Bundle, the Play Pink board game bundle. So first one we're going to go through here is Love Letter. You may well have played this before. It's not a particularly unusual board game. It's more of a card game, really. It's similar to poker. So the nice thing is it does tell you how many of each card there is in the game, and I believe if I click that, no, I click that one. Yeah, so it does tell you what each card does as well. So if I say that, then I think they've got a prince. I was wrong. Now, because it's similar to poker, you kinda you lose the aspect of being able to guess what someone's got. It's like online poker where it loses some of that bluffing element because you're playing it online. So now I've almost certainly lost unless I can guess his card. So he played a priest last time, which means he's got something probably higher than that. So let's say he's got the countess, which is wrong. So I've lost now, unless someone else gets it now. I think I should go with 6, by the looks of it. Yeah. It's a fun little game, but there's no local co-op if that's what you're looking for. I believe there is online, but yeah, it's a fun little game. Alright, on to the next game. So, this one is Small World. I'm sure you've probably heard of it at least. So this is a tactical game. We'll just do the 2 people for right now, so I can show you a bit. So you have to pick your race. So it comes up with all this stuff. The problem with this version in particular is the rules are, I mean, there's a lot of rules. It's quite easy to get to, which is nice, but so we could be like swamp sorcerers or pillaging tritons, but honestly, it might not be a bad one just to go with those. So let's start off there. No, let's start off here. Conquer some of these lands around here. So yeah, you basically just go around conquering as much as you can, and yeah. I'm not great at this game. It's a lot of strategy, it takes a while. It's good fun, but does this one have online? It does have online. It does also have pass and play for those people who would like, well, yeah, it does have pass and play for those people who are looking for a game experience with other people in your household. It's obviously not easiest on PC, but there are plenty of ways these days. Steam Link, something like that. Online, I don't know how many there tend to be. Looks like there's quite a few people who are interested in playing games, but there's no open games, so I guess it just depends when. Alrighty then, on to the next game. So, this is Pandemic. I don't actually own the one on Home Bundle, so I'm showing you one on Tabletop Simulator instead. So, Pandemic is a game. It's like Thunderbirds if you played that one. It's basically you're up against the game. The game usually wins. So you have to move around the board, trying to. So you got these cards. You need, I believe it's 4 of a kind to actually cure any of the diseases, but you have to stay on top of them as well, otherwise they start spreading. It's a hard game. It's good fun. If you're interested in online, from what I saw, it doesn't have that on the tabletop version, but on this version, I mean, you could do it online if you wanted to on this one. It's not my favourite game, but it's good fun. All the 3 which I've just shown you are all in the lowest tier of the bundle, so 74 pence or your regional equivalent. So I would say it's well worth it if you have just 2 of those games. If there's only one of those games you don't have, I'd say all of them are worth that money. Which brings us on to the next tier. So this is Splendor. I love Splendor. I think it's brilliant. So each turn you can do, I believe it's 2 actions. You can take you can take 2 of each of one thing, or 3 of 3 things, I believe, or you can buy something. So let's say we wanted to get this one. This one looks like a pretty good one. So we pick one of those, we pick one of those, and we pick one of those. And done. Okay, so then the computer does their thing. They also take 3 things. So now we want a blue. So that's that one got. So after that, our next bet is to take probably a green and a white. So now we buy that one. They're buying that one. So we got the white we need because we got a card which provides a permanent white, and we got an ordinary diamond. So we then get another green, so we can buy that one. That will be everything. So we'll then have a black and we'll have a white. So after that, what do we want to get? Maybe one of these ones. It's difficult to get that one actually. So maybe we'll just collect a few different things. Let's say we get one of those, and let's go with that. Let's get the last white just in case. And she's bought that one. So it's a good thing we've got random things because we now can't get that. Can we afford this one? No, we can't. So I guess we'll get those so we can get that one next time. And we'll get another white. Why not? If we can control those, then she can't then use them. So that's basically the objective of the game, just collecting cards. Each of these are worth points. Well, some of these are worth points. These ones up here are worth points. These are worth points. All you have to do is have the correct number of cards at the end of your turn for these, and then they automatically get added to your hand. I believe you can also... No, you can't take those. You can also take from the deck. So you can like, oh, I'll get this one at some point. And that gets you a coin as well. These ones can be used for anything. So it's kind of, I don't really know what I'm going to get. So if we get one of those, we can get that red. It's nice. We're going to be using green, so let's get into the green to get that red. And they bought that one. So far, this is not going well. I guess we got another white. Well, we got the stuff for it. Really, as soon as you can, you want to start moving up to these ones where you get some points for things. It's usually quite difficult to get to that. So if I actually just... Oh, okay. I must have been mistaken with that. You can only pick 3 different things. So if we take that... what else do we have? Green, 1 red. Right, red's out. So that one wouldn't be too difficult to get actually. So let's get another blue. And maybe another green. Bet they got. No, they didn't actually take one which we wanted that time. So that's our turn. So we could buy that one, but we don't want to at the moment. We want to get another white. And probably that. And maybe another one of those. So we start getting cards. The game becomes a whole lot easier. So we'll take that. So this is going to cost us a lot of our stuff. So we would also like probably that one. So let's just take another red. And maybe a black. See, I'm at my maximum hand now, so we've got to play something this time. Luckily, we were already planning on doing that. So I think we'll pick up that. Now, I don't remember. Yes, first person to 15 points. I've got 3 points currently. So it's definitely worth picking up a blue, so we can get that. Is there anything else we can get for cheap? So doesn't look like it, although if we get one of those, then we can get that. So that's very useful. So then maybe we'll pick up that other green. So pick that up. And we'll pick that one up. Very quickly you see that you can then just get some of these things for free, which is very useful. So let's go green. They're going up in coins a lot quicker than we are, though, which is worrying. But we may as well pick this one up for free. Should have picked up the other one because that was actually worth 1 point, but I missed it. Yeah, now she's taking that. So may as well take that. And now we can't afford anything. So I'm tempted to just pick one of these big ones because we have a pretty good hand now. So let's go for it. What do we need for this? It's 3 more greens and 2 more blues. So as that's a green, let's take it. So we need 1, 2. That's all we actually need for it. But we may as well pick up something else while we're here. Okay, now they're close to winning, which is worrying. So, but there's nothing we can actually do about it at the moment. Get another one of those, another one of those, and one of those. 1 point. So we've lost basically. There's nothing we can do now. So you can take a few of these, but anyway, it's only a matter of time. So we lost, but I love that game. It's brilliant. It's not that long. It's great with other people. This one's a good pass and play one. It also has online. I don't know how good the online is. Looks like it's fairly active. So, next up we've got Carcassonne. I love Carcassonne as well, to be honest. It's a brilliant game. This version of it, pretty good. Nice thing is you don't need to have a huge table where you can expand it all, because it's all online. Works well. It calculates everything for you, which is nice, so you don't have to worry about someone cheating the rules. Looks like this is going to be a huge city, so let's try and cut that off a bit. Claim that just in case. We're not brilliant at this one either, to be honest. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a huge city. But it's good fun. So, usually, people can be confused about, you know, whether this is a new road or the same road. But this one does it all for you, which is nice. Okay, he's trying to take my city now. Let's take that road. Sure. Currently, I don't see any point in claiming that field. Okay. So now we got another piece of city. So we can't do that. But we might cut off there. That could be useful. Okay, that's gonna make things difficult. Monastery is always useful. Okay. Don't like that. So, I guess let's put it up there. Taking the city. That's what I thought. That's annoying, but it happens. Let's just put that there. That's a very good place. Not sure why I'm moving the screen then, but that's fine. That's irritating. But again, it happens. It's like we're getting the usual setup where it becomes a monastery town. Put that there. I don't see any point in claiming these. It's nice and calming. You don't really have to worry about anything. I'm not very interested in those. Just want to finish my road. Yeah, that's Carcassonne. Does this one have a good online? I'm not sure. So, yeah, online seems to be alright. There's a few games, but overall, I mean, it's brilliant. You can play it locally with other people. That's what I would do, personally. But it's a great game. Now, final game list here is Ticket to Ride, which, again, is a great game. It's also, you know, a very frustrating game, but who doesn't like Ticket to Ride? This version of it, I think, is pretty good. I played it lots of times. That seems like a pretty good route. Let's take that one, let's take that one. Not brilliant. I'd rather have two on the same route, but unfortunately that's what we got. So we got lots of oranges, we got lots of blacks. Oranges could be useful. Take a couple of oranges. Unfortunately, check the other one. Let's take that. So, yeah, it's a decent port of the game. It's just it's got all the frustrations, it's got all the gameplay. It's currently just taking cards, hoping for the right ones. But that is a large part of the game. There's no getting around that. Is it my favourite bit? No, but it's also not the worst. So far we got pretty lucky actually. So we can get that. So let's just clean that. And that. So basically that's all I really have to show. I mean, basically all you do is draw cards, match it up with a route. You can only have so many routes, so if she wanted to go this way, she could still do it if she had lots and lots of pinks at the moment. Or she could go that way. But there's only 2 routes there, so you have to claim all those. It's a hard game. Usually you got screwed over by someone else. Sometimes with them knowing it, sometimes when they don't know it. But it happens a lot. Is it fun? Yes. Is that bit fun? No. So, I know it's gotten online. I think it's gotten online. So, let's see how the online is in this game. Online, it's pretty busy actually. So that's pretty good. So, of the middle tier, you get a lot of content. But, personally, I don't really see the point, unless you already have everything in the top tier. I would go for the top tier if you're wanting anything in the... Okay, which brings us to the first game of the highest tier. This is the Lord of the Rings adventure card game, which again is a brilliant game, but I found it a bit difficult to actually get into. I mean, the production quality is excellent, the artwork is excellent, obviously the theme is excellent. Who doesn't love Lord of the Rings? But
upon the evening of the 25th of February, 7 days before Gandalf reached Edoras to bring...
It's got proper stories, you got a nice background to every level.
Secure your armaments and mounts.
Yes, the waterfall.
You have a hard ride
into this. Textures aren't great, but it's a card game, you know. What can you really expect? But it's great. So if we go with that one, maybe that one. It's just a little bit difficult to get into the game, I found. There are other things which I would rather play, that's the thing. It's not that it's a bad game, it's just... there's lots of things to understand. And I love card games, but yeah. It's, especially the tutorial, it seems a bit overwhelming. First go for it. So play that card.
Theoden, King!
And that card.
For Rohan!
I'm not really playing it properly. 'Cause I don't. This is the thing. There's lots of rules. I don't remember as well as other ones. As you can see, there's 3 tutorials just to get through. Maybe more. Yeah, 4, 5. It's good, but personally, there are other things I'd rather play. Also, it's only single player, which I know it's a card game. You can't. I don't think there's any not even online. Oh, there is a multiplayer. Is there any active multiplayer? Maybe. It's like it's difficult to join. So yeah, that's Middle Earth. So now let's go on to Scythe. So Scythe is a game which is very complex. It's very... I mean, the theme is interesting, the artwork is fantastic. I love the opening things like this in this game. It looks like an actual board game, which is unusual for these. Usually it's set up where it doesn't look like an actual board game. It's kind of like Catan, but you kind of build up your deck. So, you know, you can produce things, move, all the actions are here, but just it takes a lot. It's all very overwhelming at the beginning, which means that if you're not playing it frequently, which I don't, then you kind of forget how to play. It's fun. When I played it, it's been good fun. The problem is getting into it. What can we do here? Can we produce? So yeah, so we can get some iron there, some fuel there. And it seems pretty simple once you actually understand it. The problem is, it's difficult to understand, in my opinion. I know, maybe I'm just an idiot. It's perfectly possible. But the online looks basically non-existent. It's just not for me. Maybe it is for you. I love the artwork, I love the theme, it's just... I couldn't get into it. Alright then, that brings us to our next game on the list, which is Blood Rage. This is another one which I don't own in its own format. So this is the tabletop simulator version. But it's a pretty good game. I wouldn't recommend it for if you play it in sort of hot seat mode where you pass it between each other. It gets a bit slow then. Really, so each at the beginning of the game, you pick one card. Let's say this one, and then do that, and your turn. Next person, let's say he picks this one. Okay, and the turn, and then you rotate the hands. This didn't actually work when I was playing on this version, but that's the idea. So once you get your hand, let's just get rid of that one and that one. So that gives us 5. That one as well gives us 6. So that's your 6 cards in your hand. So then you have your map here. So these are Ragnarok spaces. They don't have anything. These ones have places you can pillage. So these ones get you rage. That one gets you horns, and that one gets you axes, and that one gets you everything, which correspond down here. Rage, how much you get at the beginning of each round to spend to do stuff. Axes is glory for winning battles, which is your victory points. And horns are the number of figures you can actually have on the map, so like troops. If you played the Sons of Anarchy board game, it's quite similar to that. So basically each person takes a turn doing something. So like invading with that guy, he could then invade with that guy, I would then invade with, and then he could invade with, say, his ship somewhere. And it keeps going like that until both players have no rage left, or decide to pass. So in your hand you have these cards. So that's a quest card, so you can play those for free. These are the monsters that upgrade, so you just place that in there. That one would cost 2, for example, so if you had 2, bring it down there. And you bring Fenrir on, and Ragnarok would then destroy Fenrir at the end of this round. He would then be brought onto the board as well. You get to invade with him for free. And these are for battles. So you then place that in secret, and then flip it over, +3 to your attack. Yeah, it's quite a fun game. I played it, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for those who like to play hot seat. If you're playing with someone in the same household, much better to get a physical version of this game. If you're doing it online, it should be fine. Alrighty guys, next game we'll look at is Terraform Mars. So in this one you are all competing to become the best corporation controlling Mars. This is again not the version you'd be getting in the bundle, but is a representation. So it's quite a simple game actually. It looks quite complex, but to actually play it, it's quite simple. Basically, you are trying to get the most points. On your turn, you can play one of these cards. They all say what they actually do. In the top right corner, they will have a price. You can pay this in gold or in other resources. So like this one, if I had one of these tiles, you can see it indicated as the same. So you use 2 of this resource, and that would equal 1 gold. And similarly for this one. Or if you didn't want to do all those, you can do one of these things on your turn. So ones of these brown backgrounds are your production. As you can see, this one also has a brown background. You're wanting to up the temperature, in which case you get rewards for that. You need to up the oxygen, and you need to become the best terraformer. It's a good fun game. It's very easy to get into. It flows quite nicely. Even if you're playing it together with other people on the same computer, it flows quite nicely. It's a little bit slower than it would be otherwise, but it does flow quite nicely because there's not a whole lot you have to do. Though, obviously, ideally you'd be playing it against other people online, or yeah, online is really the way to do it with a game like this. But it does work pretty well, this one, offline together. Alright then, next on the list is A Game of Thrones. So, this game works by you trying to take as many castles as you can, making alliances, breaking alliances, taking kingdoms, that sort of thing. Well, I played it 3-player and it didn't really work 3-player. It had problems like people not being able to get out, which possibly was just my mistake in reading rules, but in that you can't play certain factions, but that doesn't really help the game. It still means that you can't really play who you want to play, which isn't all that interesting. I think this game really calls for lots of players. You need, ideally, every house to be played. That way you got lots of conflict, lots of diplomacy, and then it really works. Without that, it's kind of a bit boring. It's just move a few people, bid some stuff. I like the wildling track, which you also bid for, so everyone places a secret amount of power which they'll use to fight against the wildlings. So everyone could just be lying or just decide, I don't really care. Especially if you're, say, Lannisters and up against the Starks. So the Starks are doing quite well over here. You might go, let's let the wildlings come out and destroy them. But yeah, overall I think it could work if you have lots of people playing. But with just a few, it's not really that fun a game. Alright then. That brings us to Arkham Horror Mother's Embrace. So while it carries the Arkham Horror name, it's actually more similar to Mansions of Madness. The gameplay seems very much like, if you've played it, Betrayal at House on the Hill. You have to explore the mansion, turning over tiles which reveal different parts of the house, although there's not the random element like that. Although there kind of is. To play this game you need the app as well, which is both a bonus and a hindrance. So it allows the app itself to be a sort of game master, and which makes it much more like a actual tabletop RPG. But at the same time you have to always have the app out, which is kind of a hassle. I'd rather it was all on its own, but it does add to a lot as well, and adds a lot of story. It means that there can be lots of different writing. It's good fun. So in this game you explore, you search, you're trying to solve the mystery basically. You have puzzles to solve. It's very much more of an actual RPG than it is a board game. So if you enjoy that sort of thing, it's well worth it. There's the random element with dice rolling, but your people do, yeah, it can be quite, you can lose a lot, but that's kind of the game, style of these sort of games where you're playing against the game. It's well worth getting the highest tier or lowest tier, in my opinion, as you get a lot for your money. The middle tier, while you get a lot, I'd recommend getting the highest tier if you're going to get the middle tier, unless you have all the games in the highest tier. So, till next time, thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, bye bye.